Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. This week we're going to paint with the spoken paintings exercise of Nicolas Uribe from the Our Painted Life channel. I think Nicolas has definitely reached a mastery level, and to me is a very inspiring artist and painter. So I've decided to on Monday to listen to his spoken words about his painting and to follow his suggestion to basically imagine his painting and to sketch or paint my own painting on the base of what he is telling us. Okay, let's get started. This week we are painting in oil on illustration board. So this week I think it was very cool and interesting because, life as an artist can be a little bit isolated because basically day in, day out, you paint or draw inside your house, looking at pictures. So oftentimes I can't really hire a model, especially now during the coronavirus pandemic. We can't really ask models to come in the house and spend hours with us. So yeah, I'm basically almost always painting alone in the house, and it's difficult to find a way understand what we're doing because when you're alone there's nobody you can speak to, and I can't really bug my family and my husband constantly with the things I'm going through my paintings. So here's where the digital world and the social media comes in handy, especially Instagram, I think, because there is a way to build a sort of a digital community of artists, and in that community you can talk and chat and leave comments and get answers and like or not like certain images. So basically you're part of a circuit of feedbacks for artists, and so I think this is very useful for me. One of the artists that I follow is Nicolas Uribe, as I was saying, and he also does YouTube videos every day. And this week he put out this exercise called the spoken paintings, and he also created an hashtag for it. So every day he painted this painting, and he didn't show the painting to anybody, but actually he spoke about his paintings, describing the feelings of the images, and then he asked all the viewers to imagine this painting and maybe to sketch or paint your own view, your own imagined image. And so I did. Since I don't have a lot of time right now because I still have a 2-year-old that cannot go to school, since in Italy schools for little kids like that, they're still closed for the pandemic, and they're probably not going to be opening even in September. We don't know yet. So I basically paint during her nap, 1, 2, 3 every day, the holy nap. And this is actually a sleeping pose of her sleeping, taking her nap. And for me, the nap has always been super important since she was born. I was almost obsessed with her taking a nap. And why? Because that time was the only time in which I was able to draw and paint. So I had to make sure that she would take her nap in order for me to keep being an artist. So it was very essential to my well-being. And so apart from this, I also think that for kids it's super important to get enough sleep for the brain to develop, because during the sleep the brain organizes itself and put all the new information in the right spot, so that the brain can actually grow and learn Without sleep, we wouldn't be learning anything that we try to understand when we are awake. And that's very important for little kids like my little daughter, since they are born, basically. So going back to the exercise of Nicola, he also put down the ground rule that was a special palette that I've never used, a limited palette. Alizarin crimson, blue cobalt, titanium white with no dryer, raw amber, and cad red. And for a yellow, he is suggesting the bismuth yellow. He really loves that color. I don't have it. I've never had it. It's pretty expensive, so I've decided to use my lemon yellow, which is very similar, just a little weaker, so I've just used more probably than he uses. Saturday he actually unveiled the painting, so today I already seen the painting, the original painting he was talking about, and it's very different from mine. So basically I started from the sleeping pose because he was talking about sleep. He was talking about sleep and as one of the very few poses that we can depict in a natural way without asking the model to just stay still in a very, not natural way. And in fact, when someone sleeps, they just basically, unless they're moving around like crazy, but usually not, they're just resting and they're just relaxed and they're still. And so we can paint them or draw them. And I do that with my daughter pretty often. The sleeping pose is also a very, very happy pose for me. It just makes me feel really good when I see my daughter sleeping, as any parent, I think. So actually, I did my drawing in a blue pencil, color rase pencil, in a similar way to what Nicola often does when he does an underpainting, which is not very often. He usually paints alla prima. I have never done that, very scary for me, maybe in the future. So I start with a really nice lay-in of the drawing, and I was happy with the drawing. I pushed the pose a little bit in a way that the nose and the mouth seems to just fall down with gravity. I like that idea. I had in my head, not that I've seen it recently, but many years ago, one of those huge, amazing, fantastic paintings from the incredible Jenny Saville, and her mouth was just falling down with gravity. It's very weird, but also very beautiful. The palette was scary for me because I've never used that kind of palette, but I loved it. The colors that you can get, the combination, oh my God, amazing. And I probably pushed the colors a little too much compared to what Nicola does usually. I should have kept it a little bit muddy, and I just, as usual, I can't just push colors, and I just get a little bit out into that dreamy land, and it's difficult for me to stay in the gray area. And I think it's probably because I'm not experienced yet enough to use the grays and the muddy colors in a way that makes sense, and so I go to the extreme. So anyway, I do like the colors, and I like the pose, and then Nicola was talking about simple painting where you have shadows, mid-tone, and lights very well defined. So the three elements, and he had I think the hand or the forearm in light, and then a sweater that was enveloping the figure in a dark shadow. I try to apply the concept that he was talking about. So as far as keeping the three elements separate, I don't think I was very successful. Even if the background is my darkest dark, and I have some shadows under the head and the hand that are dark and they are well defined compared to the midtones and the lights. The lights is just it should have been a little bit smaller than what I have. I think that my light kind of expanded a little bit down the head. So it's a special light situation, but the midtones. So the idea was to, as Nicola was suggesting, to melt a little bit in some areas the tone of the midtones, as he does so wonderfully, and I am not even close to it with the skin tone and the bed. And he was talking about this purplish color of the sheet, so I, even if my reference didn't have any that color, I decided to put it in, and I love that color. Oh, I love that purple. For me, is just perfect. Then I've used touches of red and oranges in the face, and worked against touches of light green, and I really like that too. As far as the structure of the face, I'm happy about the volumes and the 3D, and it feels like the face is close to us and the hand is even closer. That's really the feeling of when she's sleeping and maybe I go there and maybe she wakes up and I put her in the bed with me, and then we snuggle for a second. Those cheeks and that mouth is just in my face, and that puffy hand she has, those puffy cheeks, just so cute. And yeah, I think that the painting really should show the fact that I love this little girl that I have. So I think that overall the painting was successful for me, and it was good to be able to finally paint and be able to explain without words what I feel, which I think it could be the meaning that I was looking for. It took a long time to get to this level of painting now. I feel like I am more free, and repetition and the fact of painting every day is really what brought me to the next level. I look back to the last 3 months and I can see a big improvement in my paintings, and I feel very proud of it. So I just want to say, if you're an artist as well out there and you want to express what you have inside and you want to show everybody the way you see things and the way you feel things, painting is the right journey for you, but you'll have to stick for it for a long time. And I think that persistence is key, like anything else. And it feels, sometimes it feels like you're just stuck at some points and you can get better, but then all of a sudden, one painting and boom, you finally got to another higher plateau. And then, it's tough because it gets more and more difficult, but it's very, very rewarding. And I think this is something I'll be doing forever. Yeah, through anything. So have a good week, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.